Hello and welcome to the next video of my Worlds 2023 Final Four series where we're going to cover the four mid laners going into semifinals this weekend in Korea. Going to go over the stats like we have for top and jungle, then go over what champions are playing and how the teams are approaching the role in draft. First, let's recap who these players have went up against so far at Worlds to form the stat lines we have. Knight has won against BDD from KT 4 times, Scout from LNG 3 times, Yagao, and then Nuke from BDS. Yagao went against Chovy 5 times, Caps 3 times, Faker twice, Humanoid, Knight, and BDD. Zhaohu went against Palafox 4 times, Humanoid 3 times, Niski twice, BDD, and Caps. And then Faker went against Scout 3 times, Yagao twice, APA, Chovy, and Eminez. So those are the opponents. We must keep that in mind when we look at these stats. Not everybody played an equal slate. In terms of KDA, Knight and Faker set the pace at 5.3, but all these are pretty solid, especially when you take into account that Yagao is a facilitator. He kind of throws himself in there, and him dying is not a big surprise to me. CS per minute, though, there is a diffy here. Faker setting the pace at 9.1. That is more than good enough. Anything above 8.5 I consider okay. Then you get to 9, you're in like elite CS per minute territory. Knight obviously doing his job, Zhaohu as well, especially in this meta. Yagao 8.3 is where he usually is. That's actually better than he has been this season. I think he had 7.9 in the LPL in summer, so it is an improvement. Now, when we factor in CS per minute, if you're not farming, you should be involved in fights. So, Knight 73% is good. Zhaohu 70%. Yagao around 70%. That's pretty standard, especially in this meta where we're seeing mid and jungle kind of team up and facilitate, make things happen, especially in mid lane in general. Faker, though, on the other hand, not like them. Under 2 out of every 3 kills he is involved in, so Faker not necessarily as on top of things. In terms of fighting, we are aware that Faker is shot calling for that team. We saw him when saw what happened with T1 when Faker wasn't there. It kind of drove home the fact that Faker is still the greatest player of all time because he's literally now playing for 5 players at once. But gold. So everybody around 400. I mean, Yagao's 385 and Zhaohu leads the way at 429. So everyone's around the same amount of gold. However, damage, so the return on that investment, right? We're investing gold into a player. How much damage are we getting out of them? Everybody around 575 to 600. Zhaohu the most, 596. But, sorry, not everybody, but the 3 LPL mids are all high 500s. Faker, only 443. And that's not a big surprise. We talked about this with Wei Wei as well. When you're not involved in fights, you're not going to deal damage. Now, he's farming instead, just not utilizing that farm to get gold, to get items, to deal damage. It's just not turning out that way, and that's something to note, right? We're giving him farm and resources and not getting that return. Damage share, secondary carry like for Knight, for sure. Knight 26%, that's secondary carry. With BLG, Bin, and Yagao splitting that duty. With Weibo, the Shy definitely is more of a carry than Zhaohu, and then Zeus is dealing a ton of damage for T1, and Faker is clearly the third carry on that team, more so a facilitator than anything else. In terms of 15-minute splits, Faker is the one getting a lot of gold. He's ahead about 333 gold at 15 minutes. The other guys, all around 0. Yagao's down 100 and Knight's up 50. So it's all around the same. Now, in terms of CS, Yagao on average down 7. Zhaohu up 4. Knight and Faker both around 0. And then XP-wise, Yagao on average down 224. The other 3 players up over 100 to 200 XP. It's all around the same. A 400 XP diff between Faker and Yagao. I mean, you're going to get level 6 a little sooner, but it's not like a crazy gap. Now, in terms of solo kills, Yahoo has 4, so that's something to note. We didn't talk about it really with junglers because, I mean, it's not common. But with mid lane, Yahoo has been very aggressive. He's been finding opportunities to solo kill opponents where Knight and Yagao have 0. So just put that in mind. You know, looked at this the whole time. I was doing something else with the jungler video. And I was saying, I got to fix that. I got to fix that. I got to fix that. But I have 15 minutes. I'll find a time to fix it. And I never did. So it's supposed to say mid lane up there. Now, champion pools. So everybody's played Orianna, which is Knight's most played. It's also Yahoo's most played. Sorry, it's Knight, Yagao, and Faker's most played champion. Now, Knight has a unique pick with Vex. Nobody else has played Vex at this tournament. And then Yagao has played Syndra. Nobody else has played Syndra. Yahoo, his most played is Nico and Azir. And Faker's only played 3 champions. So that's something to note as well. Faker's champion pool. Obviously, in Ocean, he's played more champions than I think anybody else in LOL Esports history. But at the same time, he's only played 3 at this event. Lastly, bans against and by teams. So how much investment are we putting into the mid role in pick and ban phase? JDG aren't having any mids banned against them, really, but they are banning Azir and Nico as some of their most common. Nico being banned against BLG, and they are banning Silas. Weibo, ban Azir or have it banned against them, or they pick it. Like Azir is probably 100% presence against for Weibo games. They're also having Yahoo's Orianna banned against him. And then in terms of T1, people are banning Faker's Azir and they're banning Nico. So the champion pool is, I mean, pretty clear when it comes to bans. We're all trying to get rid of Azir. If it's not banned, it's being picked. Orianna is in the same boat. And then Nico is not far behind. So, yeah, I mean, very close amongst these mid laners. Obviously, all, you know, more, well, 3 of them facilitator oriented. Knight is a standout. Knight obviously can 1v9 any game. I think he has that potential where the other 3 do not. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And I hope to see you again tomorrow.